R3 per the zoning ordinance. So if you look in that section that I highlighted in the report, it says that any non-conforming lot of record existing at the time of passage of this zoning ordinance come to the Board of Zoning Appeals to ask for permission to build or erect any structure. And so that provision allows Mr. Hake to come to you all because he's under the size requirement. But he was under the size requirement when, at the time of passage of the ordinance. So it's always been. It's a non-conforming lot of record. So, and that pretty much covers everything. The sign has been posted about 4 weeks, and I only received one phone call in all that time for the sign. And
was the call for or against, or any just information?
The call was the gentleman, I believe he's here in this home. I think he lives here. I'm not exactly sure, but he was asking about the sign and why it was put up, and was more concerned about the sign.
Well, the sign's right on the, looks like right on the property line instead of in front of the property. Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's no, well, in front of the property would probably be right in front of his driveway.
Oh, okay.
It's so narrow, he doesn't have any frontage.
Okay.
Because it's a flag lot, so I guess they had no choice but to put the sign there.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Do we have a representative here of the, for the property in question?
I own 112 acres, sir.
You live at 112?
I own it.
You own it? Would you come forward, please? Would you raise your right hand, please?
Yes, sir.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Would you state your name and address for the record, please?
Michael Haka, 143 Hickory Street.
You heard the report from the city planner. You have anything you want to add?
What I want to do is, I've got 9,900 square feet of property. I'm 100 square feet short.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to build a single-family dwelling. I want to downsize, and which the building would be attached, the house would be attached in the back of the building. That's the only way the codes would allow me to do it. Talking to Larry Bird and everybody, you know, the only way I would be if I was approved to. That's basically what I want to do. The house in front of me, yellow house, that house is, the lot size, I believe, is 8,100 square feet, which was built in 1999. I'm 9,900 square feet. And I just want to get permission to pull a permit and build a single dwelling home right there. It's only, I'm not going to build big, maybe 1,000 square feet, which would be way under the, I believe you can only build up to 40% of the property. 60% needs to stay green. The building that's there now is 1,500 square feet, so I would be adding another 1,000, which would be attached to the back of the building.
Okay. Any board members have questions?
So you intend to leave the red building up and build a house? Is that the intent?
Yes, sir.
Would you like to explain where you're going to put the house on the property? I mean,
House would be in the back of the building to, if you came into the drive, it's a deeded, it's not an easement, it's deeded into the property.
Right.
But it would be, if you went into the property, it would be all the way to the very back, all the way to the very left. And we also have the house on 126, which is right next door. I talked to that guy that lives on Ridgemont right behind my building. He actually does a lot of drywall work for me. He has no problem with anything. I've talked to everybody on Hickory Street other than Larry and the people that have the house in front of me. They're probably going to be against it, but everybody else on Hickory is for it. I've helped everybody out on that street, done renovated most houses on that street. I built the one on 116 Hickory. I've improved the whole neighborhood there. And that's what I want to do also with this property.
Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to make a comment to the rest of the board is that without having exact plans, drawings,
Yes.
setbacks, I don't think we can make a determination tonight with the information that we have.
The setbacks are 20 feet from the back of the property, and they're 10 feet from all other.
Right. What we're getting at, sir, is that we need to have some sort of a design, a footprint of what the house, where the house is going to sit, so we have a better idea of where the house is going to sit.
Okay.
Because right now, we're not sure, you know, we're trying to verbalize where the house is going to be is very difficult. If you could come back and give us a footprint, a drawing,
Yes,
or
sir.
a plan, or something along those lines that is fairly firm, that, so we can see where the setbacks are, and we can take a look at the engineering, you know, where the water's going to drain, et cetera, you know, and that sort of thing.
Yes, sir.
Because it's so very preliminary right now, we don't feel confident that we can give it a good consideration at this point.
Okay, but, so what, will I be into the next BOZA meeting, or?
Yes, effectively, you would need to look at our rules and regulations, i.e. for R3, the setback for the front is 30 feet, side is 10 feet, and the rear is 20 feet. So we want to make sure that your drawing of, your plan of the building, you know, draw out the land that you own, have it drawn out, and then put your building you want to build on it, and then we can take a look at the dimensions to make sure you're meeting all the other requirements, not just putting a house where
Okay,
we
the front setback, I was told, from codes that, it was 10 feet, is what I was,
Well, then, I mean, that's what we're getting at, is I'm reading from the book, and I'm showing on R3, we're showing 35 feet. So there's some other things that we need to overcome, and I think what we need to do is get an engineer involved, and get laid out what you own, and then put on the property where you want it to go, and then bring it back to us so we can review it.
okay,
Does that make sense?
yes, sir.
That'd be great. And as soon as, if you can bring that paperwork and give it to Bo down there, and he'll take it from there.
Okay, and then we'll go, more than likely I'll see you at the next meeting? or-
Either the next or after that, it's determined on when you can get the paperwork submitted.
Okay,
The meeting's December 30th, which is a Monday. If you're in town, I don't know, some folks are not, but,
yeah, I'll be in town. but-
so December 30th at 5:30, but you need to have
Get all that in order.
exactly what they've asked for ready,
Okay,
you know. So I guess next week,
I'll get it ready next week.
contact me and just let me know where you're at with it.
Sounds good.
Mr. Chairman, it'd probably be best if he requested a deferral.
All right? So we're requesting a deferment on behalf of the candidate here for at least 1 month. December 30th is the date that we're shooting for, but that's not firm. It depends upon when you get the documentation in.
I'm gonna work on it immediately.
All right.
So just technically, just for the board, if you just request a deferral, that gives us the okay that we can defer it and keep
I
you on for the
request
agenda.
a referral.
Great.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
As well, you as well. The next item is a request for variance to locate an accessory structure in the side yard, property located at 1694 Newport Place, R1, low-density residential zoning district, parcel owned by James R. Shaw. Mr. Logan, may we have the report, please?
Thank you. This property is located at 1694 Newport Place, and it is zoned R1, and the request is for a variance to build an accessory structure in the side yard, and there's some photos of the home, and they're also printed off in your packet because they were kind of dark. Let me go back to the overhead. So the pictures I'm showing you, some of them were taken from this curve, about the middle of this curve, toward the back of the house. And I was trying to show the conditions in the back of the yard. It's, this is water right here, and this, quite a large part of the rear of the lot is, there's water back there. It's a depression. Not sure if it's a sinkhole. I've heard some people in the office say it might be a sinkhole. At any rate, it's definitely an extenuating circumstance. So some of the photos are from here, and yeah, they have a large lot if you count the water, and then all of this side area. So there's a picture, I think, of some boats. So those boats there would be roughly right here, approximately. So the imagery, this imagery is probably a year old. So, of course, the boats are mobile, so they come and go. But that's the one picture there. And then this picture shows the sort of how the lot slopes off pretty rapidly. So this deck area, I think it goes around a pool. I don't know if it's an above-ground pool. Looks like it might be, but all this deck area is attached, it appears, from the overhead to the house. So that would be this area here. And then it slopes off pretty quickly. There's not, it doesn't appear from the street that there's a whole lot of room back here. And even if there were, because of the topography and the way it slopes, it wouldn't be probably able to be utilized. So this is the front of the house, and there's the sign that was posted in the yard. And it's my understanding that one of the applicants is a school bus driver, and I'll let them fill you in on that. But I think the accessory structure is to house the school bus and to keep it out of some of the elements. I guess the only other thing, I've not had, did have 3 calls in about 4 weeks, and a couple of those calls were just curious folks that told me they didn't live in the neighborhood, but they take that road on the way home, and they live in an adjoining neighborhood, so they just want to know. A lot of times these signs, everybody thinks that it's somebody wanting to rezone their property, which is a hot button topic. So
Right.
everybody wants to jump in on the rezonings, but I explained to them that they were not asking for rezoning. And under state law, as you all know, someone cannot request a variance for monetary reasons or for money reasons. It has to be inherently something wrong with their lot. And so I always include those 4 examples every month of classic examples of variances that should be granted. And you'll see in the state law, it talks about extraordinary circumstances, and I believe in the law they mention homes that have a stream or a creek or that hold water would certainly be an extenuating, or the state law calls it an extraordinary circumstance that not every other yard has. And so definitely there's a circumstance here that not every other yard has. So that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Are the owners here? Are both of you going to speak, or just one of you? Would you step forward, please? Would you raise your right hand, please? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. Would you state your name and address for the record, please?
My name is James Shaw. I live at 1694 Newport Place, Laverne, Tennessee, 37086.
You heard the report from the city planner. You have any comments to make relative to the report?
Basically, what we're wanting to do is, I've got some more pictures I can show you that's better of the top of this, this is from the street going down. Well, where this shadow is right here, that's the property line going straight all the way down.
Right.
Well, this tree right here you can see I've cut it straight up on our side. It's coming over our whole house. And basically, my wife we're self-contracted through Rutherford County driving a school bus, bought a brand new 2020 school bus. And within 2 months of owning that bus, the top of the white bus is already black. And it won't come off. That tree is ruining, or anything I put in that driveway, it's ruining. So what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to build a car canopy over to cover all that. Because I asked the next door neighbor, and I was just gonna get a price on to cut them trees down. Well, as soon as he seen that orange X on that tree, he said, "That's my tree, don't cut that tree down." So I didn't go no farther with that. So basically, that's what we're wanting to do. And I can show you, I got more pictures from the back of the house showing you how, this is from where the water is going up. It's a bunch of rocks, just goes straight up a hill. You can't build nothing on the side back there. And then on where the boats are parked on the side, I've tried before to build a garage over there. They said all that is septic tank runoff. They said every bit of it is, and then I went to get the blueprints, and that's all. They shaded it all. It's all blue. It's all septic tank runoff, so you can't build on that, of course, so that leaves a red X on that one.
Okay. So you want it on that side of the house?
I'm wanting to build it over the driveway here.
Or you want to build over the driveway?
Well, it's not a garage, it's just a carport.
Carport. Okay. By the way, that was me pulling away from your house when you pulled up this afternoon.
Oh, was that you taking pictures? I didn't know. I was just wiping the truck down.
Okay. I walked totally around the house, so I know what you mean.
You see how it goes down all the way?
Yes.
It's a,
Okay. Any board members have questions? I know you do.
I do, I mean, again, we've been asked to approve or disapprove a section, and for me, don't need an engineering drawing, but I'd like to see a sketch of exactly where it wants to be.
Exactly.
Because if we do approve it, then the code's going to come out to make sure you complied with what we approved. So what I would like to see would be, you know, take an overhead or take a picture and give us some direction and some dimensions of what you're going to do. Therefore, if at the moment the side is let's see, on R1 is 15 feet, then we know that if you're going to go encroach by 10 feet, we know what that number is, and therefore when you do build it, we know that you're building it for what you requested and what we approved. So that's what I'm asking for. I mean, it's just, I'm not against it by all means. I'd like to just make sure we put you and we agree with what you're going to do and the colours you're going to use, and that way, when you do build it, you can move forward. That's just my comment.
Right, it's the same situation as we had with the first situation. You need to have some documentation. Again, we're talking the footprint, we're talking about the materials that are going to be used, where exactly it's going to be used, what's going to look like, and et cetera. You know.
Okay.
So we would like to have something more that we have that can really consider.
okay.
Then it goes on the record too, so it protects you at a later date saying, hey, what happened? Well, this is what we presented. But my other concern is just ensure that the runoff from the roof does not run into your neighbour's property, because you can't do that.
Right.
So just, I mean, a sketch or something with some dimensions on, showing what you intend to do with material you're going to use and colours, so we can get this done properly. And if you get that together and send that to Mr. Logan, I'm sure he can run through it and we get you on the next meeting.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes
In
sense.
your personal documentation with your deed and everything, do you have something that you should have that clearly shows what the property line is there? When I looked at the pictures, I thought there might be already a problem with the property line. Of course, the pictures don't get close enough to, but if you see the pictures that were taken, that the driveways are not exactly side by side up there. The distance between the two driveways is not the same in the front as it is in the back.
Right.
So, you would want to make sure you're not already violating the property lines or your neighbor violating the property line even before you go to that point of
Okay.
getting a description, okay?
All right.
I just trying to help you be on the safe side,
All right.
okay?
Mr. Chairman, just like before, we request him to defer, so we have it in writing.
Yes, you would
Defer.
need to request a deferment.
Request to defer.
If you have the documentation and you can get it there on time, we'd be glad to discuss it at the next meeting. If not, there's always the meeting after that,
Okay.
okay?
Thank you.
But bring your documentation to Mr. Logan, and he'll take it from there.
All right. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you. There not being any additional items to bring up at tonight's meeting, I declare this meeting adjourned.